The Milwaukee Brewers are making a massive statement as they remind the league exactly why they are the team to beat in the National League Central. Even with key stars resting, they just dismantled the Detroit Tigers in a 12-4 blowout that proves their brand of baseball is as dangerous as ever. Manager Pat Murphy has his squad playing with an intensity that is turning heads and keeping them firmly in the hunt for a fourth straight division title.
Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Meanwhile, the Tampa Bay Rays are fighting an uphill battle against a surging NL Central division that has proven to be a nightmare for them all season long. After dropping 5 consecutive series against these teams, they are searching for answers while looking to avoid a total collapse in their remaining games. The Rays have struggled to contain high-powered lineups and consistent pitching throughout these matchups, leaving them desperate to turn the tide before the damage becomes impossible to repair. In the Windy City, the Chicago Cubs are absolutely on fire, currently riding a 7-game winning streak that has sent shockwaves through the standings. By outscoring opponents 51-18 during this stretch, they have climbed to 5 games over 500 and proven they are a legitimate force in this crowded division. Whether it is their powerful lineup or sharp pitching, the Cubs look like a championship-caliber team that is hitting their stride right when it matters most. With the entire NL Central Division looking like the toughest competition in baseball, the race to October is going to be an absolute gauntlet. From the Milwaukee Brewers' grit to the Chicago Cubs' hot streak, and the Cincinnati Reds leading the pack, every game counts as these heavyweights prepare to battle it out for supremacy. Stay ahead of every pitch and catch all the latest developments by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel with notifications turned on. Ever wondered why some teams just seem to have a superpower for winning, even when the stars aren't on the field? Forget the old rule about not judging a team by a single game, because the Milwaukee Brewers' 12-4 dismantling of the Tigers this Tuesday was an absolute masterclass in why they remain the kings of the NL Central. While the rest of the division is busy trying to find their footing, Milwaukee is proving that their brand of baseball is bulletproof. Think about this. They hung 12 runs on the board without Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, or Christian Yelich. That's not just a lucky night. That is a systemic commitment to winning. What makes it even wilder? They did it without relying on the long ball. With 16 hits on the night, they didn't knock a single one over the fence. Instead, they played what I like to call chaos baseball. From Gary Sanchia's rare back-to-back triples to David Hamilton turning a routine pickoff error into a run, the Brewers lived on the base paths. They forced the Tigers into defensive mistakes through sheer, relentless pressure. It's that hustle factor that manager Pat Murphy swears by, putting the ball in play, forcing the defense to panic, and making the opposition ask, "Why is this happening to me?" It turns out, that kind of pressure accounts for a few extra wins in the column that pure raw talent just can't replicate. Currently sitting at 13-9, they might look like they're lagging in the standings, but they are only 2 games out of first place. Don't let the early season math fool you. Betting against the Brewers to snag a 4th straight division title is a losing game. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to follow Sports Illustrated on Google for more deep dives into the Diamonds. At the end of the day, championships aren't just won by home runs. They're won by the team that refuses to let the other guy breathe. Ever feel like your team has a secret Achilles heel? For the Tampa Bay Rays this season, that nightmare is the National League Central. It has been a brutal stretch, and frankly, the numbers are hard to ignore. The Rays have officially dropped their 5th straight series against an NL Central opponent, limping to a 4-10 record against the division. While the NL Central has emerged as a legitimate powerhouse, Rays fans are left wondering if Tampa Bay has been the division's favorite punching bag. It all started with those high hopes against a rebuilding St. Louis squad. We thought it would be a walk in the park, but J.J. Weatherholt and his scrappy Cardinals had other plans, hanging 22 runs on us and proving their early 14-9 start was no fluke. Then came the juggernaut Brewers, the best team from 2025, who reminded us exactly why they hold that title by dismantling our pitching staff. Even a late-inning heroics from Nick Fortes couldn't save us from a series loss there. Then came the homecoming at Tropicana Field. The energy was electric for Game 1, but the Chicago Bats woke up with a vengeance, racking up 24 hits and 15 runs to turn the weekend into a headache. And don't get me started on the Pittsburgh series. It was a bizarre reunion tour where former fan favorites Brandon Lowe and Jake Mangum effectively haunted their old home, delivering clutch performances that cost the Rays the series. Even Cedric Mullins' miraculous 13th-inning homer felt like a lone bright spot in a sea of frustration. Now we're staring down the barrel of a Cincinnati buzzsaw. The Reds have looked unstoppable, dropping 18 runs on us in 2 games and launching long balls at will. It is a massive relief that this is the final series against the NL Central this year. The goal for today? Just stop the bleeding. We need to salvage 1 win to avoid that first dreaded sweep of the season. So, what do you think? Is this just a statistical anomaly, or is there a fundamental mismatch here that coaching needs to address? Drop a comment below with your take on the Rays' struggles. And if you're tired of the roller coaster, hit that subscribe button to stay updated as we chase a turnaround. Sometimes, in baseball, you just have to tip your cap to the opposition, but let's hope we stop doing that so often. Ever heard of a 7-game winning streak that could land you in last place? Welcome to the absolutely chaotic thrill ride of the 2026 National League Central. The Chicago Cubs are currently red-hot, outscoring opponents 51-18 over their last 7 games, yet in this brutal division, they're still fighting for breathing room. It is a level of parity we rarely see in baseball, and honestly, it is brilliant. Right now, every single team in the NL Central is at least 3 games over .500. Let that sink in for a second. While the American League struggles to even find 3 teams with 13 wins, the NL Central has 5. It's like a gladiator pit where nobody is allowed to lose. The Reds, Cardinals, Brewers, and Pirates are all looking like contenders, turning the division into a collective powerhouse that has outscored opponents by a staggering 80 runs combined. But let's inject a little reality into the excitement. While the Cubs are surging, they have certainly benefited from some favorable scheduling, catching the Phillies and the Mets while they were in the middle of massive losing skids. Is the division actually this good, or are we just watching the effects of a soft schedule early on? The real test is coming. These teams haven't really started beating each other up yet, and with 52 division games apiece on the docket, something has to give. Mathematically, they can't all keep winning, but the competitive fire in the Midwest right now is undeniable. We might be looking at a future where 4 teams from this single division sneak into the playoffs. It's early, it's wild, and it is a total blast to watch unfold. What do you think? Is the NL Central the best division in baseball, or are they just padding their stats before the inevitable collapse? Drop a comment below with your pick for the division winner, and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the 2026 season. Because if this is how the year starts, imagine what it's going to look like in October. You might think a single game in a long baseball season doesn't tell you much, but hold that thought, because Tuesday night's 12-4 demolition of the Detroit Tigers wasn't just a win. It was a masterclass in why the Milwaukee Brewers own the NL Central. Even with heavy hitters like Jackson Chourio, Andrew Vaughn, and Christian Yelich riding the pine, the Brewers put up a dozen runs. That isn't just luck. That is the distinct, gritty DNA of this organization. Think about the mechanics of this victory. They notched 16 hits, yet not a single one was a home run. Instead, they played what I call death by 1,000 cuts. They racked up 13 singles and back-to-back triples from Gary Sanchez and Garrett Mitchell, proving they don't need to clear the fences to break a game wide open. They simply forced the opposition to implode. Between David Hamilton turning a bad pickoff throw into a run and constant pressure on the base paths, the Brewers make the game feel claustrophobic for their opponents. Manager Pat Murphy has built a culture of pure, unrelenting hustle. He knows that when you constantly put the ball in play, you force the defense to think, to panic, and eventually to crumble. It is the kind of baseball that turns a roster that looks good on paper into a team that routinely outperforms its own talent level. Sure, sitting at 13-9 in a crowded division might look modest at first glance, but they are right on the heels of the Reds, and honestly, betting against this squad winning a 4th straight division title feels like a losing proposition. This is a team that knows exactly who they are and how to win. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the teams that move the needle. Do you think the Brewers have enough depth to hold off the rest of the Central all summer long? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. After all, championships aren't just won with home runs, they're won with this kind of relentless, heads-up baseball.